That was their game. Um, the Indian people, that was their game, you know, way back in the 1800s. Yeah, they used to play then too. I played in it in the 40s, and the teams in the 40s we had about 3 teams. Oneida Braves were the home team. And down here, they call it a new hall. They call down here, it used to be a diamond down there. And the longhouse, way down the Longhouse Road. And now they got a longhouse over here, but they don't play there anymore. They played longhouse at the longhouse, and in the 40s and 30s. We call them Braves, Oneida Braves. I just grew up with it because I was starting young there. So soon I was playing with the men. We didn't wear pads some days, no helmets, and only thing some people have is shoulder pads and gloves. For us, we played around Sarnia, London, and sometimes Sweden. Well, there was Peter Schuyler, Sandy Brown, Teddy White. We play outside in the field, and one of the fellows got hurt really bad. And I was the one that I was throwing the ball at the goal, and I hit him instead. I hit him on his jaw, knocked all the tooth out, and so got nothing here, so we had to stop the game, take him to the hospital. That's the last time we played. Now I hear they're starting back again. I haven't seen a team, but they're starting back from little guys. I was small.
You don't
But I
remember?
remember I was only 6.5 years old when my dad died. So these days, I was only about 5 years old, but I remember. 6 Nation people came the last time at Osaya's where we used to play, Osaya. One of Oneida came. One didn't come to play ball, so my dad has to play ball. So he went in there. As soon as he went in there, the 6 Nation guy poked him with a stick on his ribs. He broke it. That was October. My dad died in February, account of that. That time they don't used to go to the hospital when somebody's sick, something happened to him. He just suffered. 4 months, he suffered 4 months before he died. Got TB in it, where he had broken lip. That's how he died. He was almost 26 years old. His birthday is March. He died in February.
But you agreed that the kids should keep it up, no?
Yes, I would agree. 100%. And instead of this all kind of dope, smoke stuff, better get in some kind of game. Something to keep them busy. Something else.
This is a test, okay? Now, who remembers where the game of lacrosse came from?
Creator.
That's right. That's right. Okay. And what are its two purposes? Yes?
Strengthen men.
That's right. It's for the men. right?
Played when
That's right. It's for healing. Very good. So the game, and that's why the game was given to us by the Creator. One of the two reasons, okay, was to train our men, okay, to train boys to become men, and to maintain the health of men, because the men were the protectors of the community, okay, especially the women, because, and who can answer that? Why are the women to be protected?
because they're the light givers.
That's right. That's right. That's one of the reasons. Okay. Different people go through so many emotions and those people who are strong in their spiritual belief. It's a very powerful experience, and you really can't explain anything like that. But it just goes to show you the strength that comes from the game of lacrosse. I mean, it's just like anything else, any ceremony. Once it's lost, it's lost. It's not going to come back. So it's important that we continue to play the game, and to show people that this is our game. You might be playing it as well, but the game has been shared by us, and I suppose that's one of the reasons it was given to our people, is because we share.
It was big back then. There was Lacrosse and snow snake. There were two big things that went on. And then the community had teams besides. But most of the guys that played on teams were from longhouses, So like her dad, Bernice's dad, he was a big player. Simpson, Simpson's her uncle. So her dad played. They all played. And they used to have a lacrosse field and all the cars just parked inside, And it was a big event when that lacrosse game was on. A lot of people went there. We had a family member. They used to call him Lights, Elijah Bochi, and he was a goalie. They say he was one of the best around. He was just a short guy, but they said you couldn't get nothing through on him. And that's what he was good at, Wherever he went, they took him. Wherever the games were, they'd take him because he was good. So that was really something, I guess. And then runners, like her dad, Simpson, them guys, they were all top runners back then, So I guess it was sort of family oriented, when you look at it, because all the guys that were good at it, they were all family, They were good, and they fought, they played hard too. Nowadays, you don't get that kind of play because the guys ain't healthy anymore like they used to be a long time ago, It's either they got asthma or sugar or something wrong with them, To us a long time ago, the game was a game. It came from here, Nowadays, it's coming from here, money, It's all about money. And the kids that are learning, I guess you take baseball now. And the non-native people, they look at that as a business, And our young kids don't look at it that way. They don't know why they're like that, but they know that our young kids, they say they're not interested. Well, they are, but they're not interested in the same way that a non-native man is. He's in it for money.
When they play, they give thanks. This is how they used to do a long time ago. This is deer hooves. And what they do is they ask the Creator to to ask for strength, and then they ask the spirit of the deer. And what they do is they hit it on their leg like this before the games. Go like this. And they ask the spirit of the deer to help, like for the speed and like that. And that's what this is used for. And long ago, what they used to do is when you're playing and you're kind of down and you're tired and it's towards the end of the game, what they used to do is they used to shake this. And the men could hear that, and that would give them energy, and it would help them to get their strength back. And once they hear that goose rattling like this, you can't do that in real life. When you talk about the medicines and you talk about like responsibility and where it came from, I believe spiritually, like it cleans us and it makes us feel better. And I believe that's where, like, look, that's why they call it the Creator's Game. That's what I believe. When we used to go to Onondaga to ceremonies and to Tonawanda, that's all everybody did. You know, you go inside the longhouse and you listen to them all morning, and they do the speeches and whatever they need to do, and then that's the first thing you do is go outside and pick up a stick and just have a scrimmage game. Right now, I think the women do a lot. You know, just because they played Akwesasne, they played Six Nations, they played Whitby, and they beat all those teams. And like I said, it's hard to explain how I feel about it. Because I'm so proud of the women that play, and I don't think a lot of times they don't really understand the how would you say it? The influence that they have on the kids, on the children, on the younger generation. I don't think they really understand that. The game, the team that that we have, the team that they made up, it's gonna go down in history. You know, it's the first team that came out of this community again after 60-year or 80-year absence, and that's really something. Sometimes it gets overwhelming, to know, like this past year, Iroquois Nationals, they placed second. They got beaten overtime by Team Canada, and that was really something for the Six Nations to be able to do that. Like the Confederacy, the Iroquois, it was really mind-boggling to see that we can compete at that level.
Sequoia, this is the big day. We're off to Whitby to the Ontario Lacrosse Championships, but the bigger deal is the Iroquois Nationals are in the Canadian Championships, and the opening ceremonies are at 4 o'clock today. I think we pretty much got a bus full, and we just wanted as many people from the community to share this as wanted to go. So there's the bus. We're just gonna load her up.
must have been 7 years now. I start really like focusing on lacrosse a lot, and the more and more I learned about it, the more it's us. It's been taken away from us, and it's finally coming back. Like you look at the program that they have here. If you really look at it and really understand our history, you see from 1965 or whatever till now, and you look at it and there's no Iroquois teams on there. Nobody asked why. If you really know why, we weren't allowed to play. They said, no, you can't play, you're not allowed to, because they understood that it was important to us. It's our medicine. It's just as important as our language. They took our language away from us and they tried to take the game away from us. So yeah, like so all those years up till 2006, Iroquois hasn't been allowed to play. It's just unfair, I guess. They want us to forget about our culture and who we are. Lacrosse is us. That's exactly who it is. And assimilation. We're assimilated pretty much. I'd love to teach my kids everything, the true nature of the game. That's why this tournament is so huge for me. That's why Ronnie's into it. That's why Gregory's into it. And I want all of our kids to play. That should be us. They haven't allowed us to play. It's like they got all these teams got so good. Ontario's so dominant now. It's like, okay, they're thinking, oh yeah, the lacrosse is ours now. They made it their national sport, Canada's national sport. Stole it. They stole our game. Wouldn't allow us to play. Now they're good enough, and we don't play no more. Nobody from Oneida plays no more. All these little communities don't play no more. Now they say, okay, now you're allowed to come to our tournament, and they're gonna stomp us 17-2 and everything. That's how it is.
Grayson, Brandon.
What we do and who we are and why we play for the Creator. And right now it's a way for the boys to pull together and stand up for the nation and their past and their future. It's about pulling together the nations and getting them to play as one. Our communities are healing, okay? So just like any type of disease, we go through this cycle, and we did take time to start giving ourselves time to work back, and sometimes you have to tear it down and then start rebuilding. But the people that get involved in that rebuilding are people that get a chance to start it strong again and build that foundation.
But good nika games, Leo. It was a really good game.
The thing of it was, you got to see what lacrosse really was about, what lacrosse really came down to, and it was the Bantam game. Ontario's mentality was win at all costs, no matter what it takes. We're going to win. And Iroquois never changed. Go out there, boys, and have fun. Work hard. When the dust clears, a pat on the back. Whatever happens, that's how it always is. Just do your best and have fun. You can't go wrong playing Sungwe Adizo's game. But they had a fellow out there that was trying to fight and get our guys into that wasn't lacrosse at all, and that was good. It was good to see that everybody's seen how you're supposed to play and how you're supposed to do it. He was trying to get in a fight and make it all messy and everything, but nobody bit. So it was great. So everybody appreciated that. Everybody acknowledged that, and the whole fans were cheering for Iroquois. It was unbelievable. There was a little section for Ontario, but the whole fans were cheering for Iroquois. That was something. And one point in the game there, I don't even remember the score, but the announcer goes, "Let's hear all the Iroquois fans in the house." And then it just went nuts. And then he tried to say, "Okay, let's hear all the Ontario fans." He said that over the loudspeaker, and you couldn't hear him. When you go home and you're going to meet Sungwe Adizo, the creator, there's one of three things that'll get you home, basically. That's how it translates. The first is your language and your culture. So when you meet him, you tell Sungwe Adizo your name, your clan, your family, everything, right down to everything that you know. So your language was one. The second thing was, if you didn't know that, you need to know the turtle rattle, Ostawako, the great feather dance. You gain access that way as well by singing that song to him. That's to acknowledge Sungwe Adizo. And the third was lacrosse. The third thing was lacrosse. And they say when you get there, they're having a big ceremony, big celebration. The great lacrosse game. All your ancestors are there. Everybody that you know is playing the game. And you're starting the game. As soon as you get home, you're starting the face-off. That's like the honor.
My name is Lindsay Dockstader. I'm 26 and I'm from Oneida Nation of the Thames. And we're about to make history by being the first Haudenosaunee team, senior level, going to the World Cup. Growing up, I didn't really play lacrosse. I didn't play until I was about 18, 19 years old. Pretty much played hockey all my life, and then just one day I had the urge to play. And then that same year, Kelly, Nicholas, and Elijah made a box team. So it just kind of fell into place. Like I wanted to play that, so they created a team. Not for me, but it just happened to be that way. Personally, me not growing up in a traditional setting, in a household like that, it's bringing me back to that. I feel like everybody has their path to becoming more, I don't know, more traditional, I guess, in a sense, but I don't really like to use that word lightly. But for me anyway, just this is bringing me back to who I am and where I belong. I feel amazing. Like it's a game that just comes natural to most of us here that maybe didn't grow up playing lacrosse, but for me it feels better than playing baseball or hockey. It feels a little bit more natural. I'm hoping to be a positive role model and being active, just to get everybody out playing, walking, anything, just to be active. We had a lacrosse day a couple weeks ago. That was great to see that many kids out, to know that there are up-and-comers, even starting at 3 years old, having a stick. It's great. So hopefully we'll have a league. Hoping to start some sort of program with girls again out in Oneida. I am thankful for all their support. Every single one of the people that came out to fundraisers, who bought tickets at our table set up at the bingo, just everybody who has shown their support to me, I'm grateful.
Okay, and what would you say to the young people in one word, I guess?
One word. How about 2 words? Keep playing.
I think it's a good thing to have, to continue on, have a team. Good exercise for the kids. Something to do. A lot of times they don't know what to do with themselves. Instead of running around on the road. If they had some place to go, might be a little bit better that way than to be on the road. Because when I was playing, I was busy. Practice every night. Not no place to go down the road.